Hi, my name is Kalena Palmer. I'll be presenting on exercise and screen time during the COVID-19 pandemic, a study done by Rachel C. Colley, Tracy Bushtick, and Kelly Langlois. So background information on this study, it was conducted to examine the exercise and changes in screen time habits and their relationship with health, using participants of the Canadian Perspective Survey Series, where the sample size is 4,524 subjects. The period of time examined was for a total of 6 days from the 29th of March to the 3rd of April, and data was collected by participants self-reporting whether they exercised outdoors or indoors, if their screen time increased, decreased, or was maintained, and by self-reporting how they perceived their mental health to be. You can't really see it on the screen right now, so if you have to zoom in, that is totally understandable. But today I'm going to be examining the percentage of people who reported very good or excellent mental health in the age range of 20 years and older for increased TV screen time. There are a few other divisions that we could look at, but for the subject of this assignment, I'm only going to be looking at that data. With a 95% confidence interval of 52.3% to 61.6%, it was concluded that about 57% of men reported very good or excellent mental health were 20 years and older and increased their screen time, as opposed to 66.2% of the men that reported very good or excellent mental health in this same category also reported that they did not increase or they decreased their screen time. This statistic is highlighted because it is significantly statistically different than that of those who reported they increased their screen time for TV at a 0.05 confidence interval, meaning that we can conclude from that data that it is likely that when you decrease your screen time in this age range of 20 years and older, your mental health is more likely to be very good or excellent as opposed to if you are increasing it. This 66.2% of men who reported that they did not increase is met with a confidence interval of 59.8 and 76, I believe. Sorry, I can't see it. Or 59.8 to 70.3%. As for women, this is also met with a 95% confidence interval. 42.8% reported that their mental health was very good or excellent, and they reported that they increased screen time. This is met with a confidence interval of 39.1 to 46.6. 62% of women who reported very good or excellent mental health reported that they did not increase their screen time for TV. This is met with a confidence interval of 57.4% to 66.4%. So between 57.4 to 66.4% of women reported very good or excellent mental health, and they saw that their screen time was about the same or decreased. This statistic is highlighted for being significantly different from increasing that type of screen time at a p level or at p is less than 0.001%. So with a confidence level of about 99.9%, we could say that this statistic, or women who reported very good or excellent mental health, were more likely to have decreased their screen time than increase it in the 20-year and older age range. For this study, researchers concluded more men reported that their mental health was in excellent or good condition, which was 60%, as opposed to only 49% of women reported that their mental health was in excellent or good condition. if we were just taking into account um, increased TV time for 20 years and older, we could argue that more men were decreasing their screen time, or their screen time was about the same than women, or that we could argue more women are increasing their screen time based on the result that only 49% of women reported their mental health was in good or excellent condition as opposed to that 60% of men. Um, is this information credible? For starters, all three authors in this article have been published at least 18 times, and all of their articles are peer-reviewed, including this one. That just goes for the credibility of the authors, not necessarily the research. This research was done under the supervision of Research Canada, which is a non-government organization, but their research does help the government understand the demographic and of their constituents and what's going on in Canada. Um, Research Canada has published multiple studies before, and they are fairly renowned. Um, the sample size of 4,520 participants allows for repetition in data for us to analyze, meaning that we have lots of data that can help weed out any bias or unsound evidence. Um, research Researchers highlight a 95% confidence interval with an alpha level of 0.05. This just allows us to be confident in their work, I guess. It shows what's going on and where errors might have occurred. However, there is possible bias due to self-reporting on behalf of the participants. I do think because of the amount of repetition this data or this sample size allows for, I think it takes away part of that bias, or it allows us a little more ease with the bias. And then that is just the citation. Thank you.